Our number one ag export is soybeans. We sell over $800 million a year in soybeans to China. The ag experts say that with a 25% tariff, that'll be likely to be reduced by 2/3. We can make up some of that by expanding other overseas markets, but it's still going to have an impact on exports and price. So we're very concerned about the retaliatory impact of tariff war or skirmishes, and we're feeling the impact already in terms of price. So Arkansas, we rely upon our exports overseas, both in terms of products, but also ag products more specifically. And we're hurt both by the tariffs that we impose, but also the tariffs that come back in a retaliatory fashion. So we give a lot of confidence and latitude to the president, but we hope we can bring an end to this trade war.
It's not just China. As you mentioned, there are other issues that are taking place, spats between us and Canada, us and Mexico, us and Europe. What's the total dollar amount in terms of damage if you look at all of those issues right now?
I don't know that you can put a total dollar amount now on the impact, because you first impact the consumers with prices going up. We produce, a good example is we have a Belgium company that's located in Arkansas, Beckert Steel, that produces steel for tires or in fencing product. Well, they get hit by our own tariff for those goods coming in from China. Or for other places overseas. We rely upon that. That hurts us in terms of that expansion, but then you expand that also to the concerns about agriculture. And so, again, we give the president latitude because we know he's trying to reduce that trade imbalance that we have. I thought we were in a good position early on, but it seems to have escalated. And from an Arkansas standpoint, we'd like to see those tensions reduced.
Governor, I hear you. You're sort of, I hear this from a lot of people that are kind of in the president's, they're in his camp overall, but they're not still crazy about the trade stuff. So they say we're going to give him time and we're patient. If you were king, would you have just preferred to stay with the status quo of what we've seen in the way things have operated for the past 25, 30 years? Would you just wish that the president hadn't done anything if you could go back in time and change it? Was the status quo preferable to you?
No, I think he's done exactly the right thing by raising the issue of trade. And early on, he gained some significant concessions, particularly from China, saying that we're going to reduce that imbalance by importing more agricultural products from the United States. That was a win for us. He was in a very, very good position. But since then, the discussions have deteriorated, and we've gone back and forth. So I think he did absolutely the right thing by raising the trade issues, by pushing the edge on it. But we're at the Brinksmanship level right now, and that's where we got to say enough is enough. Let's end these skirmishes.
I think, it's like the movie Airplane. There's never a good time to try to do a lot of things.
Quit sniffing glue.
Quit sniffing glue. Stop smoking cigarettes. There's never a good time, but given the unemployment rate and GDP and stock market and everything else. If you were ever going to do it, you got a little leeway, and you've seen the Chinese stock market and the Chinese currency. They're gonna, they've got a small margin for error over there in terms of how much debt they got layered on their economy. So I don't know who's going to say uncle first, but.
Well, and that's where we don't need to be in a position that somebody's got to say uncle. Right now, as you pointed out, China has got their own issues to worry about, and they need the United States. The United States needs that global trade with China. Arkansas is a perfect example of it. We need it both ways. We have industry that we've recruited from China that's investing here, and the tariffs hit us in terms of increasing the cost of that investment, and it puts it in jeopardy. We're working with the administration, our trade ambassador, to get some exemptions for that. But they need us, we need them. And China showed some maturity. I think the United States has, but we're getting to the point, though, that we are trying to get somebody to say uncle. And I think we need to say, let's figure out a way that we can both benefit from this trade. They've agreed to increase their imports. That's a good thing. let's make sure that we can stop the escalation of the tensions in terms of trade.
We need to find out if there's an expression in Mandarin or something that says, because if you say we're waiting for you to say uncle, they're like, what the hell are you talking about? Uncle what? I wonder if there's a corresponding. I think they'd understand what we're saying though. Someone's got to throw in the. There's another one. Throw in the towel. What does that mean?
Yeah, well, someone's got to blink.
Well, it's another one. What is that?
But Governor, look, Joe makes the good point that this is a time where we're enjoying very low unemployment, a strong economy, and a strong stock market. That's probably very little solace to farmers in your state, though. Farmers have not been enjoying many of the benefits that other areas of the economy have, correct?
Well, farmers are always the first casualty in a trade war. And while the economy has been very, very good in Arkansas, and your point's well taken, we've created over 70,000 jobs in the last 3 years in Arkansas. We reached the lowest unemployment rate in Arkansas history last year. Our economy is good. We're having expansions that are here. The tax cut bill that President Trump led the effort on has benefited our state. Our ag community has done well. It's just that there is little margin for error, and whenever you put in your soybeans at the beginning of the year under a particular price contract and that price goes down, then you're going to be losing money. And so there isn't much margin for error, and whenever you're looking at a state that's dependent upon agriculture like Arkansas, it can have a significant impact on our economy here in this state. And as you pointed out, it's not just about China. Mexico's our number one purchaser of our rice products, and Canada is a big purchaser of our goods. So there's a larger impact than just China here.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.